Guess who gave us that bragging right? You did. And just to also let you know that this is the Political and Current Affairs Prog Show on Eagles 102.3 FM, where we talk politics and current affairs and basically allowing you to understand the fact that, look, the power is in the people and that politics is what we address. My name is Uduak Daniel, and we'll be looking at something that bothers on Nigeria as well as Nigerians as well. And excuse me, please. The idea is for us to look into this discourse and try to prefer some solutions. Look into the very, roots of the matter, dissect it as much as we can, and then allow for your voices to be heard loudly and clearly in the most civil and responsible way for today, being August the 14th of the 2024. Right. Now, we'll be engaging our guest, who's in a person of Comrade Gerald Okachi. He's a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and social media analyst as we go conversing on economic crisis about over 50 firms shut down in Nigeria, and that has been a very, very drastic one, because if the little firms that we have in our dear country Nigeria, which of course is very minimal in number, and out of that minimal number we're having 50 shut down due to economic crisis, economic meltdown, and quite a number of other concerns, it just makes us want to wonder what quality of life we are living, what standard are we living our lives, what pedestal are we indeed sitting on, and would it be true that indeed we are, sitting on a time bomb, as would it be, is it an icon now? Yeah, an icon to the federal government, saying that neglect of youths, ticking time bomb, and and that really causes for concern. And this one, of course, was with the Vanguard newspaper earlier this morning, right? And with all the efforts and the policies that has been put in place, supposedly targeted at ensuring that we have MSMEs and SMEs, growing in the country, it seems as though we have seen only an inimical trend, a disadvantageous trend that is not supportive of grassroots entrepreneurship development, and that is indeed worrisome, right? We've also seen where the CBN has engaged in raising constantly the MPR, and to their mind this would allow to curb the rate of inflation, which is continually surging higher and higher in the country, and it's not backing down any moment from now, to bring it down to a barest minimum, but it doesn't seem so, and it just makes us want to look again into some of these conversations and look critically at it and begin to ask certain fundamental questions of what we say to ears that want to hear, and what is the reality, because that's what's going on. What we say versus what the reality is. Just recently, after addressing the State House or the Senate now, we saw Wale Edun, Minister of Finance, right, coming out to saying that the Naira is being stabilized, right, against the dollar. But are we really seeing that in reality, when sometimes it jumps to 1,600 Naira to a dollar, comes back to 1,005, goes to 1,004, but he's saying no, we are indeed stabilizing the Naira. And then these are the rhetorics that makes Nigerians say, hey, are we really telling ourselves the truth? And would it also be wrong to say that what this senators or the House of Assembly or even the president hears as feedback is not really entirely what the reality is? Could this have been the reason for the hashtag and bad governance in Nigeria protest that went down on the 1st of August of 2024? Could this be part of it? And Nigerians are beginning to say that, look, we cannot continue like this. We have to be able to do something and do something fast. This is not also forgetting the fact that we've seen some corporations and businesses fold up already, leaving Nigeria, and according to them, they are living for good, and that will be as a result of some of the harsh conditions that we are indeed enduring as a people in the country. But the government, on the other hand, is saying that they are doing all they can, putting all hands, on deck to ensuring that things got better. And then we can not only but help to beg to ask, dear God, where are we going? What way again for us at this point in time, right? What can we do better? What have we not done just yet, right? So get it rightly. Is it that this whole thing is a rocket science in solving our problems? I mean, especially when the solutions are right there in front of you, because Nigeria is facing severe economic crisis at this point in time, with over 50 firms in the chemical and non-metallic products subsector shutting down due to harsh economic conditions. Now, this has also resulted in job losses, very significantly reducing economic activities, as well as increasing poverty and insecurity. Stakeholders are even calling on the government to intervene and address the challenges facing the sector. But there are some key points that I would love for us to look into just before we engage our guest, decisively as we go conversational, on the topical issue. Now, one of such will be the place where over 50 firms, of course, have shut down due to high energy cost, expensive raw materials, reduction in customer demand, unfavorable government policies, insecurity, multiple taxation, and poor infrastructure, right? The shutdowns have also resulted in over 100,000 job losses, and it has reduced economic activity. Stakeholders are calling on the government to provide concessions on foreign exchange allocation, reduce import duties for raw materials, improve energy and gas supply, reduce multiple taxation, and implement policies to support local manufacturing. If you also recall, we saw it on the front pages of Nigerian newspapers where the is it the federal government now, or the telcos are threatening that they are going to somewhat also pull off, from the system, and the federal government would, of course, through its relevant agency, had said, hey, if this is the move that you want to make in view of increasing your tariff, then this would not be a very good move for you, right? And we've also seen, away from the telcos right there, we keep seeing the issues of power, the power issue, even though the president said that we would indeed get it rightly. We are consolidating on the power sector just to ensure that things got better. But Nigerians are saying, no, all of these are rhetorics, they're English, you're speaking too much. And we want to see that you come out and decisively say that, look, we are giving subsidies on power, just like as it was, right? And that's what Nigerians are yearning for. Look, the importance of power cannot be underemphasized, as it is more like a driver to an economy. And any serious government should indeed look into that and act decisively towards ensuring that that sector indeed will not become just a story, but it will be something that actually works, because we are too endowed not to be lit up as a country. I mean, we go outside the shores of Nigeria, we see how it goes on in other parts of the country, of the world rather, and why can't we reciprocate these things that we see outside, these things that attract us to these other countries? Why cannot we also put it down right here in our dear country, so that others from outside the shores of Nigeria would be attracted to be in Nigeria? Look, we've not even been able to put all of that together just yet. Yet, we still see some African countries find Nigeria as a destination hub for some reason, right? But if you think it's because of the infrastructural development, oh no, you may be really amiss. It might just be because of the fact that we are very resilient people, and we are like a case study. We are a cause to study, right? We study us not just in Nigeria, but outside the shores of Nigeria, even in the UK, in the international community. They study us because our resilience, our patience is very peaceful. Trust me. All Nigerians are asking is that make life better, at least ameliorate. Make it something worth living. That's all Nigerians are saying. But if we also look at some of the stakeholders' position on the matter, where the Chemical and Non-Metallic Product Employers Federation, that's talking about CAN MPF, calling on the government to address the challenges facing the sector. We've got the National Union of Chemical, Footwear, Rubber, Leather, and Non-Metallic Product Employees urging the federal government to intervene and save the sector from collapse. Now, we also saw Mr. Olorunfemi okay, right? Executive Secretary of the CAN MPF, stating that the challenges facing the sector are inflicted by government policies, same government policies. Now, Mr. Rotimi Aluko, Managing Director of a certain organization, to blamed unreliable power, unstable currency, difficulty doing business, steadily rising inflation, increase, multiple insecurity, multiple taxation, and poor infrastructure for the crisis. And then, of course, Mr. Joseph Dada, of National Secretary of the National Union of Chemical, Footwear, Rubber, Leather, and Non-Metallic Products Employees, had also come out to adding his voice, pleading with the government to intervene and save the sector from imminent collapse. And then my question would now be, as well, as I'm sure it will be your question too, what then happens to you and I that wants to start a sachet pure water business? All right? And we just have a little capital to start with. What happens to that young man or that young woman who wants to, start a small canteen, restaurant business? Would that person be able to sustain in the midst of the tough and tight resources available at our disposal? What about all of these? And then to look into this, of course, we have our guest, Comrade Gerald Okachi. Comrade Gerald Okachi, welcome aboard to Eagles Outlook this morning.
Oh, yes, a very good morning to you and our beautiful listeners.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Comrade Gerald. 50 firms shut down in Nigeria due to economic crisis. Is that progress? Is that retrogression? Is that stagnancy?
It is unfortunate that so far what have been counted is 50, but I'm sure that it's more than 50. If you go around the street, if you go to your locality, if you go to your areas of residence or where you do business, you see that many small and medium scale businesses are going down on a daily basis. Just recently we saw the CEO of MTN, coming out to lament the high cost of retaining the tariff with regards to data and callers, SMS, that the diesel and the inflation is really affecting them, and they have been able to manage it for 11 years, meaning that in no distant time, they may be reviewing whatever charges they are giving to Nigerians with regards to data, call, and other internet services they provide. That is one too many. You understand? That's because of the policies, and that is what even led Nigerian youth, Nigerian masses to the streets to, express their dissatisfaction with the policy. But then it's unfortunate that the ruling class, especially the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu today, those he appointed continue to see things differently. They continue to see some of these agitations, negative indices in a negative narrative that is prevailing our nation as people that are losers of the election. They continue to see it as people trying to change constitutionally constituted government through other means. It's unfortunate they continue to see things like that. It's very unfortunate. And if the ruling class we have today continue to see things like that, honestly, I don't see any development with regards to the situation we find ourselves in any near future. Because if those that are leading have not really assumed responsibility with regards to what is happening, I don't see any light very soon with regards to challenges we find in the state. Over 50 firms, meaning hundreds of thousands of jobs lost. And the people that bear the brunt most is the youth. You know what that means? Not just the inflation and economic aspect of it. It will increase insecurity because man must survive. It will increase corruption and bribery. it will cost a whole lot to our collective coexistence. People must devise means to survive. And the policies we have today is biting harder and harder. Take, for example, the salaries that most people are earning today. Yes, kudos to the minimum wage that was approved. That is 70,000, which cannot even take anybody home. If we are to be very honest, the animals in Aso Rock, like the dogs, can they use 70,000 naira to feed one dog in a month in Aso Rock? Talk of human being. You understand? If you look at the cost of even being alive, cost of transportation, cost of medicine, cost of clothes, talk of food, which is very essential to our existence, you see that, just like we believing that there will be light when there's no significant or element of to show that at the end of the day there'll be light. So honestly speaking, the situation we find ourselves today is pathetic. It's very pathetic. And any moment the government of the day begin to see things have really gone bad because of policies they created, and begin to, no matter how far they have gone with policies, and begin to find a way to adjust with regards to it. That's when we begin to have a breath of fresh air. Because as it stands now, they are following IMF, World Bank with their regards to the whatever suggestions or advices they give. And IMF and World Bank all over the world, we know they are capitalists. When they come to any country or any government, they see you managing with one leg, with two clutches. They will managing with one leg, they will give you two clutches. You think that it supports you with one leg. They will remove the one leg, meaning that you must work with clutches. If you remove the clutches, you will fall. That is the situation we find ourselves today, and it's unfortunate.
All right. Well, what do you really think, Abi? Because we saw on the front page of Nigerian newspaper where I think, if I'm not mistaken, now on Nikon, right? And sending a message to the federal government saying that with the level that we are, neglect of youths, ticking time bomb, and that's what he says to the federal government. And you've rightfully mentioned the fact that some of these issues, which of course borders around on policies, may have informed the reason for the nationwide protest that started August 1 of 2024. And there were expectations of the president from Nigerians as thinking that, the president should address us. And the president so well did address the nation. But then there were also, some thoughts that, the president's address did not also attend to the needs of the yearnings, the aspirations, the calls, the demands that somewhat trailed the thought line of the process in the very first place. And so others said, give the president some time. You just may never know, so that you don't misinterpret what the president has said. Maybe we'll just wait for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, and see whether some policies will be reversed or some will be redeemed and all of that. I mean, there's also been talks about going back, to the Onrosanye report and trying to see how things can work out and all of that. There's been talks about constitution review that should go on as a process. But have we really seen any policy, that has been reverted or reviewed?
Well, policy reviews is one of the cardinal points or fundamentals, in getting any nation to move forward, especially when you get it right. You understand? And when you get it wrong, with the experience we are having today is what you see anywhere in the world whenever you get policies wrong. And if you look at the way the country we are, say 14 months ago or 15 months ago, before the advent, this administration came to power, you will see that over the time the past administration continued to inform Nigerians we will do this, we will do that. But if they look at indices on ground, they will discover that it's not favorable to their people. It's not favorable to Nigerian people if they implement some of the laudable policies that is on paper. You understand? And it's unfortunate that as beautiful as they appear on paper, you put it on ground, you discover that that is not the reality. Just one of the major challenges we find with regards to these policies is that we just do copy and paste. You just go to maybe a developed or civilized country, whatever that is working for them, you just want to carry it just like that and come to Nigeria and back on it. It doesn't work that way. Every country look at their potentials. Look at what was for them. Look at their culture, their religion, their tradition. Things that benefit the people. Things that people in that area work with. You don't just say, okay, what works in this area, you just carry it and come to another place. So, with regards to constitution review, yes, it's a good one, but as the situation we find ourselves today, it becomes a situation that no matter how you review policies, it becomes my teeth is better than your teeth. If you raise anything that you think that can be done better, there are rules for improvement. They will tell you, no, was this person not there the other time? What did you do? It's now our own. Leave us alone, give us time. This is the situation we find ourselves today. For me, if we are reviewing our constitution and some of these policies, the best we can do as it stands today is let us go for full federalism, physical federalism. Let every state manage what he has, or possibly let every region manage what he has. It shouldn't be this kind of bottle exercises we have today that at the end of every month, everybody comes to the center to come and share their location. They will share whatever they proceed they get from crude. No. It should be do what works for you. And this multiple taxation that we have seen today that is causing a lot of havoc in our system should be reviewed. There are certain things that we expect this government to, cut off. Because we are facing hardship. Yes, I give the current administration thumbs up with regards to some of the things they cut off with regards to pharmacy, food, and other things. They have cut off, I think, for 6 months or thereabouts. I give them thumbs up for that. But there are things they need to look inwards and cut them off. Today, the transport sector is suffering heavily. The working class are struggling to go to work. The business people are struggling to go to their business because of the high cost of transportation. We continue to hear CNG will be launched, CNG will be on the road, and for the past 14 months, the administration has been on. We have not seen any CNG bus on the road. Yes, we had that yesterday. There was a commissioning of one. We need to see them. Let's stop all these ceremonies. Let's start seeing them on the road, practical. Let them start working. The issue of having all these touts on the road.
Are you there? All right, comrade, we would get back with you in a short bit. Just to let you in that this is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, and we're still looking at that topical issue, having that conversation around the matter that borders on, 50 firms shutting down due to economic crisis. Comrade, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we lost you for a bit.
Okay, like I was saying, most of these mineral taxes that we see, either against the motorists, the transporters, the hawkers, the business people that you see many people come to their business centers or place of business demanding if not tenement rate or one revenue or the other. They should at least slow down on those things now. Let us see how we can move our nation out from this hardship we are finding ourselves today. Right. Even if it's for 1 year. Let us at least have a relief from the pains they have caused with regard to the policies they have implemented. Today it has become a way of life that any government comes, it finds a way to blame the previous government. Anyone that comes on board, he finds a reason to blame another government.
Even though we saw that, even though we saw that, comrade, we still saw that the Council of States actually met, and these previous governments that have one way or the other been blamed were seated at the table itself.
No arrest was made. If actually if not for propaganda, Take for example, the appointees of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu are claiming that they made a lot of rot that the previous administration, especially Muhammad Buhari, caused a lot of backward, pains before they came on board. We saw him yesterday at the Council of State. The least they should have done is to, effect arrest, prove him. But she dare not do that. If maybe Goodluck commits such thing that is national sabotage, he was there yesterday. Why don't you at least arrest me? It shows that you are very serious with what you are saying. But these are just political gimmick. If you raise issues, they just throw it there. Just to give you something to discuss, to distract people from the rating.
All right, let's go into
it. With sincerity, with honesty, those previous administration appears to be better. Because if person like President Muhammad Buhari came to power when fuel was at 87 naira, and he was leaving power, maintaining the fuel at around 185 or thereabouts, he met naira to dollar at 160 naira or thereabouts, 67 naira or thereabouts. He left it at around 400 and something naira after 8 years of administration. And the current administration just entered into power just 14 months down the line. 14 months down the line, we are made, depending on where you are buying your fuel, some are buying 850, some are buying 920, some are buying 950, some are even buying up to 1,000 naira. Dollar to naira is above 1,600 naira. And the same people will come and tell that naira to dollar is gaining some strength or appreciation.
Well, that's what Wale Adun has said. That's what Wale. Are we living in the mood? That's what Wale Adun said. Yeah.
The same people. If at the end of the day, who is blaming who? Failure has a lot of excuses and reasons.
Yeah.
When you have somebody that is not taking responsibility for challenges, for situations, he will end up throwing tantrums, blaming everybody except himself. And that is what we have eventually find ourselves, unfortunately, in this current administration. Right. If people can go out on the street to express their dissatisfaction with regards to hardship and hunger, and some of the aides will be seeing it as people that want to take over power from another angle, is very unfortunate, to say the least.
All right, let's put it back to your thoughts right now. And, of course, pay some bills. We'll be right back with you, comrade, as well as to you listening on the other side of the microphone. Well, let's pay that bill. Well, we'll be right back.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Attention, educators and leaders. Enhance your professional development and leadership skills today at the 2024 IELPN International Conference. The Institute of Educational Leadership Practitioners of Nigeria presents the IELPN International Conference and call for papers. Theme: Revolutionizing Education, Harnessing Innovative Pedagogies and Leadership for the 21st Century Students. Date: August 14th and 15th, 2024 at the National Universities Commission Auditorium, Maitama District, Abuja, FCT. Time: 10 a.m. daily. Conference registration fees: students 15,000 naira, members 30,000 naira, non-members 40,000 naira, corporate members 150,000 naira. Virtual participation just 15,000 naira. Join us for an inspiring event with keynote speeches, interactive workshops, roundtable discussions, and gain cutting-edge insights from top educational leaders. Special guest: Professor Paulinus Chijoke Okweli, Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Colleges of Education. For more information and registration, visit www.ielpn.org.ng. Email ielpnmembership@gmail.com. Contact us at 080-2222-5781 or 080-6630-6872. Don't miss out on this transformative experience. Network with peers and leaders in this education sector. And most of all, be a certified educational leader and change the world. Announcers, Registrar, CEO, Dr. Mrs. Olufumilayo Olusa. Chairman, Organizing Committee, Mr. Rutsimi Jiboku.
Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja, here to stay.
Welcome to Feminism Friday, where every Friday is a celebration of gender equality and empowerment. Tune in to Eagles FM 102.3 from 11 a.m. to 12 noon on Friday for inspiring talks on gender roles, women's rights, and inclusivity. Join us for inspiring conversations, insightful discussions, and the best part is that you get to contribute and be part of the program. The show will spotlight the champions of feminism and offering actionable steps for a just and equitable Nigeria. Feminism Lab, where your voice makes a difference. Take action with us now. The program is a production of Feminism Lab, sponsored by Friedrich Ebert Stiftung, Nigeria.
Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja, here to stay.
Get the desired clients for your business and service and get your phones buzzing. From the 1st of September to the 31st of December, you can advertise and reach a large audience with the Eagles FM Ember Months package. Advertise on any of our platforms and get a whopping 30% discount. That's right, 30% discount. For more information, please call 080-5919-8658 or 081-5791-7278. The Eagles FM 102.3 FM Ember package is a sure way to getting a wider clientele for your business and service.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
Right, we are here. It is Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. 50, over 50 firms shut down in Nigeria. Economic crisis is what we are looking at. And of course, our guest has always been, or what has been, Comrade Gerald Okachi. He's a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and social analyst. And we have looked at quite a number of things in this regard. But that will be the time to get to hear your 2 cents on this. What do you think? I mean, do we have hope? Talking about MSMEs, the small businesses, do they even have the hope to grow anymore? In looking at the economic realities that we're bedeviled with, and the continuous rhetorics of hope. 0907-353-0044 is that number to call. The other number would be 09087668888. WhatsApp portal number 0909-705-4450. Please go straight to the point and let's have a worthy discourse. Civil responsibility is just what I also always advise, okay, as we engage. Hello and good morning.
Yes, good morning, Yogi.
Yes, good morning to you, please. Is this Jibby?
Good morning to your guests who have really spoken well on
right.
the issue.
Yeah,
Felix from Lambata.
Felix, okay. Felix, welcome aboard.
Yogi, it's unfortunate that we don't have leaders in this country.
Right.
And the political leaders we have don't seem to have learned anything from our past experience. It's like Nigeria now is for sale. Somebody will just come up with money, buy it, and then give it to so-called experts, in quote, to manage for him. It's very unfortunate. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because before the military intervention in the early 1960s, you will remember Operation Waitia and all the problems that happened under the political leadership then. These things invited the military, and the military came into power, and from then military continued until eventually the civilians were able to get back the government. And the way we are going now, we are still inviting the military. The military has been so trained and has been so cautious, but the invitation that the politicians are giving to them is so strong.
Hello?
This intervention.
Okay.
Yes, I'm saying this on a very, very sound note because I have my reasons for this. Our politicians should do the needful. Our politicians should stop taking Nigerians for granted. Stop abusing the sensibility of Nigerians and then blaming users of other opposing political parties and all that. We are all in Nigeria, and we are seeing the realities on ground.
All right,
Thank
Felix.
You very much.
Thank you so much, Felix. All right, bless you more. Felix right there saying, hey, this, are we really towing the path of success at all? Are we indeed attached to reality, or we're somewhat detached from the reality? Have we been able to learn from past mistakes as it stands? Well, we'll just take this other call and then get to the WhatsApp message. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Honorable.
Yeah. It's obvious. My take on this is very simple.
Right.
In a country where there's no security, how do you expect investors? Sorry, my name is Honorable.
Right.
How do you expect investors to invest? For instance, if you go to I'm not talking about my place because everybody is talking about his or her place. This country will be good. If you go to my place, I am telling you, even filling stations are almost closing because you don't know when you'll be attacked. Beer parlors, some of them are closed. Want to talk of, and even churches, Mr. Odua. Look, we say we have our federal government has forgotten about insecurity issue. I don't want to talk about states because states are doing nothing, absolutely nothing. State governments are not interested in anything security. Everything is federal government. When are we going to work on this? Our guest, actually, how I wish someone will come and, in fact, the man is just for the masses. Our guest today is wonderful. I love him.
Right. Thank you so much.
Bring someone who counter this, our guest.
All right, thank you.
This is a radio station. Look for someone who counter him. We are all here.
All right, thank you, Honorable, for that one, saying that, well, the guest is doing magnificent well and speaking the hearts of Nigerians. But then, very fundamentally, you're talking about who is really looking into the state affairs. Why are we always talking federal, when there is a state government that we should also begin to talk to at this point in time? But let's look at this very one via the WhatsApp portal. And this one right here says, it's from Samuel from Kuje, says, greetings to you, my brother, Udwak Daniel. What we have in Nigeria as leaders are men and women who don't care about what happens to the people they're meant to lead. Can you imagine? Over 50 firms shut down, and the number of people that have been rendered jobless and those in authority don't even seem to care. We have over 1,001 talented and gifted Nigerians who can produce or manufacture things that are better than what foreigners are bringing into this country. But because our leaders are not interested in helping and building the masses, they will not build up these potentials we have. These Jackpot syndrome will continue until our leaders come back to their senses and do the right thing. May God make it easy for us in this country. In Jesus' name, he says, amen. All right. Have a blessed day, he says. Well, looking at this one here now, this one says, good morning, UD. Okay, James from Suleja is saying the truth. The only truth and the whole truth remains that the government and its foot soldiers function in an alternate reality where they believe every policy is working and all complaints are just from a few elected losers. UD, have you realized no one is talking about the Naira freefall anymore, despite sycophants coming on air severally to tell us the inflation and Naira freefall is artificial due to hoarders? Until the government acknowledges most of its policies failed, they won't see the need for a review. There hasn't been any form of transparency and accountability from the government. No accountability for its actions and inactions. Till this minute, the Minister of Petroleum is yet to tell Nigerians why queues have resurfaced and why the Nigerian refineries are not yet aware they are supposed to be functioning again. They have time and time again tried to pin the hardship and inflation on Nigerians. Right. Okay, so well, let's get back with you, Comrade Gerald. Please don't call the WhatsApp portal number. You might as well just want to send us a voice note. Don't even send a voice note, rather. Send us a WhatsApp message or a text message to the WhatsApp portal number. In case you don't have it, 0909 705 4450 is that number. Comrade, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm here.
All right, you've heard Nigerians talking. I mean, family members shooting from all sides of a cylinder. Well, I don't know. How do you put all of that together?
I think we have been in lamentation for quite too long, and we have honestly made a lot of suggestions and profile solutions with some of these challenges, which sometimes they fell on the deaf ears, and it's unfortunate. And when it's just like a situation we find ourselves today, you can't even cry, you can't even lament, because when you try to express that God-given right that is fundamental to every human being, it will be tagged or placed in one angle with a different connotations to the gullibles who interpret it that you want to remove constituted government. I think the best thing we can do today, we'll continue to profile solution no matter the situation, right? Because one of the major things that will happen to us is that we did not even make a comment or profile solution. That's the worst thing that can happen to us. You understand? We continue to say our mind irrespective of whose us is God. I think the best we can do today is to stop propaganda, stop lying to the Nigerian masses. Let's start from there. Let's face our challenges the way it is. If our refineries cannot work, let them tell us that refineries cannot work. Not this idea of it has commenced operational testing, it will work in the next 1 month, in the next 3 months, is almost 70% done, it's 90%. No stories upon stories. If it cannot work, let them tell us it cannot work. The one that is even working, like a Dangote refinery, let them tell us why they cannot help Dangote to at least start to refine, even though that Dangote is a private businessman that personally I cannot place my hope on him. But for the fact that he's situated in Nigeria, in one way or the other, it helps our forests. It will cut it down more than 20%. And more than 80% of people that work there will be Nigerians. So it will stimulate our economy one way or the other. Why are they frustrating it? If our refineries cannot work, let them leave those guys at the creek that are doing all sorts of modular refinings, finding a way to refine this crude. If those guys at the creek can produce fuel, produce gasoline, produce diesel in one way or the other, why are we finding it difficult? Does it take records? Does it take even to the moon for us to even start refining? Let us certify those guys in the creek. Give them licenses for every of the Niger Delta states that is producing oil. Let us have at least 10 to 15 modular refineries, or license the states or local government to produce these things. Let them unbundle this bureaucratic bottleneck they place, that even if you have the experience or the technical know-how or the knowledge on how to refine this crude, but because you don't have that capacity with regards to the funding and other challenges they will put there, let them unbundle it. There's no way the fuel will not crash up to 100 naira per liter. But they made this to look as if it's one pure diamond that you cannot find in the market. God-given thing to the people of this nation to better their life. Human beings are making it look as if it's very difficult. So if Port Harcourt refinery cannot work, Warri refinery cannot work, Kaduna refinery cannot work, let them tell us. And let them tell us how they have spent those billions of dollars they have used with there's no budgets that cycle budgets that from Obasanjo regime to this present regime that have not budgeted on a yearly basis make huge amount of money for these refineries. Let them tell us how they have used it. We can't continue to live like this. Never. Our parents cannot lament, and we are lamenting, and we are having our children to come and lament tomorrow. No, God forbid. We can't continue like this.
All right.
If there is no sincerity or purpose by this government, you understand? Let them tell us, look at the challenges they are facing, so that Nigerian masses will know where to give them solidarity. And not being using propaganda and the lies. You tell us this today. At the end of the day, we discover that they are lies. For example, when they remove subsidy, they told Nigerian people that the people that are benefiting from subsidy are the rich, those that are driving cars. Today, who are suffering it most? come out to be lies. When they floated Naira, they told us market forces will determine. It will do this, it will do that, it will improve our economy. Today we have seen the worst with regards to what they did. It because this is, they will tell us one thing, the reality we see on ground will be another thing. Before this protest that just ended last week, they told us that they will start selling a bag of rice at 40,000 Naira. Today, nobody can hit his chest that he has seen where they are selling the bag of rice 50 kg, 40,000 Naira.
But comrade, that was supposed to be for civil servants, and Nigerians actually via this platform had cried out to the government saying that, look, hey, how do you justify that? If this is just for the civil servants and all of that, what about the other, Nigerians who are not, on the payroll of the civil service and all of that? And the federal government came back and retracted that, from that statement saying, okay, we're putting a halt to the 100 to the sharing of 50 kg bags for 40,000 Naira. But then it has still brought some other controversy and thoughts.
A wrong was not beat in a day. Yeah. No, 1 minute. A wrong was not beat in a day.
Right.
A journey of many miles begins with a step. You understand? Mm-hmm. If there is sincerity of purpose, they will not withdraw it. When they were doing all this fuel subsidy removal and other policies that are causing hardship, if you talk, will they withdraw it? They never withdraw it. The electricity tariff they increase, did they withdraw it? No. So this one are just pure same propaganda or this they are using. They should start with the working masses. The people you say you are giving minimum wage of 70,000. Let us know that out of that 70,000, they use 40,000 to buy a bag of rice.
What will be left of them?
They just use this hide and seek game on us. Let us start somewhere. Let us know that, okay, this one has worked. It's a country where you have security agencies making donation to government, like what we saw recently, that is EFCC are making donation to the student loan that was announced by the president, by the government.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, how did we miss our priority, miss our aims and objectives? How did we just miss this up? That you see maybe Minister of Agriculture going to build worship centers for others, leaving the core demand, the core mission and vision, leaving the core aims and objective of creating that ministry. Anybody can do anything. And the reality of what we are doing today is being seen overseas. People outside are seeing us even more than what we inside are seeing ourselves. Nigerian contingent went to Paris with a whopping sum of 12 plus 13 billion naira. At the end of the day, we came back with nothing. How do you explain that? It's the reality of bad governance. It's the reality of challenges we are facing today. The ones that managed to win something, we are here 4 years ago, and they were frustrated. And they find a way to swamp to another countries. And then when they win medals, it goes to tell you that the differences are very much with regards to where we run things. One of the things I can suggest to the government that we can start doing now, and we repose and improve the faith and confidence and trust we have in government, should be, let there be consequences for bad behavior. People that are plugged us to where we are, let them begin to punish them. It shouldn't be on paper. For more than few weeks or months now, we hear that EFCC have been pursuing Yaya Bello, the former governor of Kogi State. You ask yourself, is Yaya Bello a ghost that they cannot identify where he is? But they were able to identify and give intelligent report that there are people that are sponsoring protests. You ask yourself, how did we get to this point? If we begin to deceive ourselves, no matter how highly placed you are today, one way or the other, the seed we are sowing today will affect you in one way or the other. So let us be sincere with ourselves.
All right.
Being sincere with ourselves will help our nation to grow.
Some have come with the idea that navigating the crisis, goes on several, keynotes. So one of such will be short-term solutions, long-term solutions, stakeholders engagement, monitoring and evaluation, where the short-term solution will be to provide emergency funding to support struggling firms, implement temporary tax relief measures, increase security presence in critical areas. In the long term will be about investing in infrastructure developments to support the sector, implement policies to support local manufacturing, and reduce multiple taxation. Taxation has also been yet another very fundamental reason for some of this shutdowns of firms, and providing training and development programs to enhance workforce skills might as well be a long-term solution. But there are also some talks about how the government can navigate through with stakeholders, which would be to engage them constantly with industry stakeholders to understand their challenges and concerns, to also see how they can collaborate with labor unions to maybe addressing the workforce issues, work with government agencies to implement policies and programs to support the sector. But the monitoring aspect has always been the issue. Even if you go through all of these, Nigerians have always said, where is the oversight? Where is the monitoring, aspect? And then how far have you gone? Where are the reports that you are indeed monitoring this? Because when you monitor something, after the monitoring exercise, you should be able to come up with a report that would extensively tell us that, okay, this is what I've noticed, these are the things that I've seen, this is how the answers that I've been able to prefer as a result of my oversight to ensuring that things got rightly. And the point is, do we even have a monitoring and evaluation framework to track progress? Do we conduct regular assessments of the sector's performance just to make adjustments to policies and programs? Is it really, really working in that way? And it goes back to the place of the system. Do we have a system that is working, a system that is systemic enough to, look into our dear concerns and give actionable and proactive solutions to it? Well, this one is coming from Tekenbi Hundu from Nasarawa State. Says, good morning, Daniel. Keep up the good work. Okay, I'm listening from Nasarawa State. It's unfortunate that African leaders choose to copy certain things from the West that don't work back here at home. Tinubu should be reminded that the welfare of the people is number one. It doesn't matter how many roads he's building. It doesn't matter how much he's given the government. It doesn't matter if he install air conditions in the sky. So long as Nigerians can't eat, no one will remember his government for good. Lastly, it's obvious Tinubu's government didn't see security as something which need urgent attention. Well, comrade, I would love for us, to engage some more. But I'm glad that you've mentioned, quite a number of things. You've touched on all sides of it, and that is agreeable by the listener right about now. Well, this is where we'll have to pull the plugs on the Prog Show this morning. But I want to appreciate you, Comrade Gerald Okachi. You are a human rights activist, public affairs commentator, and social analyst. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate that. Right, we see your calls too, but we cannot go into that. Want to say a big thank you to you. You are indeed the voices of Eagles, and we appreciate you in no small way. Tomorrow is yet another day, and you might also want to stick around, as you should, for the 10 o'clock mark, right? And by that hour, Martha or Holly Ray will be here to take you on the Midday Extra Show. My name is Udwak Daniel. Have a great day ahead.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.